Everyone knows Fast and Furious, the crazy Hollywood film series about cars and, well, stunts. While we all look forward to see Deepika Padukone in the next Fast and Furious film, you can test your racing skills in this game. The Fast and Furious Legacy game brings supercars and international race locations on your phone. So, put on your driving gloves and burn rubber through the streets. Build your Fast and Furious Legacy now. Join Tej, Roman, Letty and others to tear up the streets in supercharged story missions set across all 7 Fast and Furious movies. Traffic Racer is a simplistic, yet addictive endless racing game that nails down the feeling of reckless speeding through the traffic maze. Truth be told, I overlooked this game the first time I spotted it on Google Play because of the gazillions of racing games that all look and play alike, with different degree of irritation they cause due to intrusive in-app purchase, buggy performance or internet connection requirement. I gave Traffic Racer a second look when I saw someone else playing it, and immediately it became evident. The game deserves a say. This endless runner racer arcade manages to do what very few free titles accomplish to merge together, addictive and simple gameplay, attractive design and a just balance of being able to earn in. There are many racing games available on the App Store. Some take an arcade-style approach to the genre, others take a serious simulation approach. Drift Racing from the Cars team is a free-to-play serious racing game. No downtown police chases or turbo boost power-ups here, but its game engine has one feature which makes it stand apart: a physics-rich drifting engine. The game is controlled by a combination of device motion recognition for steering and on-screen presses for braking and acceleration. The first time you play the game, you may feel the game is a little slower than other racing games, but you need to remember that you're racing on the slow. Microtransactions get a bad rap, but when they're done well, I don't really mind them. I get frustrated, though, when microtransactions limit the experience, and that's precisely Angry Birds Go's problem. It promises a high-quality karting experience with depth rivaling a console racer, and its cheerful bird vs. pig-themed graphics make for some light-hearted fun. But it's very obviously designed to push its microtransactions, and that stunts its would-be complex elements. The result is a downhill kart racer that looks great and plays well, but is really far shallower than it initially seems. Red Lynx has made its name by placing fiendish hurdles in front of players. In taking its beloved Trials series to mobile, it has erected a few obstacles in its own way. Namely, how to adapt the game's famously nuanced control to a touchscreen, and how to translate their firm but fair approach to victory to the baggier requirements of free-to-play. In both instances, Trials Frontier grinds its gears and suffers penalties, but it's not quite the fatal crash fans might expect. One of the big changes from Trials past is that there's now a story, of sorts, populated by a colorful cast of characters in a dusty frontier town. You've wound up there after an opening level cave-in, sadly, not the last time the game forces failure on you to move its tail forwards, and since the townsfolk have been ripped off by a rival biker, you're recruited to save the day. To begin with, it still feels a lot like Trials, despite the superfluous trimmings. Need for Speed Most Wanted careened into Google Play today, hauling with it high expectations based on the long-standing franchise. The latest Need for Speed racing game for Android excels in graphics, and offers an otherwise pared-down, straightforward racing experience. Race types are all familiar, including the usual 6-car run, one-on-one, time trials, and checkpoint races. As players progress, they earn speed points, which over time unlock new cars. Those cars are bought with in-game cash, which is acquired by winning gold, silver, and bronze awards in races, or through in-app purchases if you're feeling spoozy. It's hard not to begrudge a dev for pushing iApps after charging $7 for it up front as well. So far, in Need for Speed, No Limits, you'll be competing in countless underground street races on your journey to be the best street racer there ever was. At least, I think so. Just like with most other NFS games, the storyline doesn't really matter all that much. You're quickly introduced to a slew of generic characters that for the most part stay out of your way throughout the entirety of the game. To be honest, though, I'm perfectly content with a lacking storyline. No story is better than a bad one, at least in this case. Just let me race. Even though the story is pretty lacking, there is a lot here in terms of overall content. There are a total of 30 cars in the game, each with their own set of upgradable parts and customizations. The more races you complete, the more parts you'll win. No Limits is brought to us by the folks who made Real Racing 3, which is one of the most realistic-looking racing games, surprise, surprise, available in the Play Store. And judging by No Limits graphics, it's very apparent that they put a lot of effort. It's been 4 years, almost to the day, since Natural Motion launched its genre-defining drag racing game CSR Racing. There have been plenty of imitators along the way, of varying quality and finesse, but now CSR Racing 2's here to reintroduce a little class to proceedings. The first thing you'll notice is that it's had a visual overhaul, as you'd expect after such a long absence. It's now a spectacle truly fit for 2016. And it's sometimes hard to believe that it's running on a mobile device. All the cars are so shiny, all permanently shimmering with a fresh out the car wash sheen and nary a speck of dust in sight. Wet wipes are essential kit for any illegal street racer worth their salt, it seems. I couldn't care less about things that go vroom vroom, but even I got some enjoyment from panning around my cars in the showroom, watching the light bounce off them realistically, and snapping screenshots. If you're actually interested in cars, I can only imagine that enjoyment being greatly amplified. There's no need to bore you with every little detail of how racing games work. I will say that Real Racing 3 has plenty of event types including cup races, speed challenges, drag races, sprints, and eliminations. There are also tons of tracks from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Hockenheim in Germany. Each race you finish nets you experience points and cash, more on that later. Like most racing titles, you don't have control over the accelerator in your car, in most of the control schemes. When the green light goes on, it's pedal to the metal. Tapping on the screen applies the brake, but that's the only time you need to touch the screen. Steering is handled by the accelerometer, so you can just tilt to turn the wheel. You can turn on more complicated control schemes with an on-screen wheel and manual acceleration, but don't bother. The controls feel very smooth, and the game actually behaves a little differently depending on your car's stats. I appreciate this attention to detail. You can probably tell the controls don't include any crazy special powers or a nitro boost. Real Racing where Fire Monkey's racer tuts at you when you so much as graze the bodywork of your expensive supercar. Gameloft's latest rejoices in such carnage and destruction. Driven into some scenery? Have a nitro boost. Somehow manage to spin your car 360 degrees in the air, land it on its wheels, and keep on racing? Someone deserves a nitro boost. plowed into an opponent, pushing them off a bridge to a watery grave. Nitro, nitro, nitro. There's a simple hour gauge glory to the proceedings, which leaves you with a smile on your face after every breathtaking dash to the line. So while Asphalt 8, Airborne might not be subtle, every second you spend in its company is exhilarating fun.